This battered soccer ball makes a perfect container for water. Fill the entire fountain this way? Oh, joy. This will keep me on my feet for a while. All right, that should be enough. I think I will switch on the fountain. The water jet doesn't reach the ceiling. I suppose that would have been too easy. I had better switch that fountain off. All right, this plugged up one of the jets. I'm going to try and plug up one of the water jets with this candle. It worked. I even managed to plug up 2 of the jets at once. I think I will switch on the fountain. Yay, it worked. The water jet rinsed the crumbly paint off the ceiling. I had better switch that fountain off. Yes, I should be able to reach it that way, but I need to watch out so the stone doesn't fall on my head. That was a close one. There are obviously still some stones missing. There are obviously I inserted all the stones, but I suppose their exact placement makes a difference as well. Seems to be an old map of what is France these days. There's a legend on the panel next to it. The king was in dire straits. He had withdrawn to Provence, and the options he had left did not bode well. The peasants were rising to the north, and the reinforcements from the Kingdom of Navarre, who had just crossed the border, were forced to go up against a massive fortress to the east. Meanwhile, his opponent sat back and eagerly watched the spectacle unfold from his country estate in Brittany.
These papers that he's sending me look like high school work.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know what he's doing.
That's the super duper frustrating part.
Seems to be an old map of what is France these days. There's a legend on the panel next to it. The king was in dire straits. He had withdrawn to Provence, and the options he had left did not bode well. The peasants were rising to the north, and the reinforcements from the kingdom of Navarre, who had just crossed the border, were forced to go up against a massive fortress to the east. Meanwhile, his opponent sat back and eagerly watched the spectacle unfold from his country estate in Brittany. Seems to be an old map of what is France these days. There's a legend on the panel next to it. The king was in dire straits. He had withdrawn to Provence, and the options he had left did not bode well. The peasants were rising to the north, and the reinforcements from the kingdom of Navarre, who had just crossed the border, were forced to go up against a massive fortress to the east. Meanwhile, his opponent sat back and eagerly watched the spectacle unfold from his country estate in Brittany. What a mechanical bridge, emerging from the sea, in a chapel that is 350 years old. Whatever lies behind this door, it must be invaluable. I can only hope and pray that this is Cardinal Coubertin's secret archive. Wow, what a sight! Latin. I learned some Latin in school, but not enough to read through a whole archive.
Remember, you've still got me. Just how did you do it?
To cut a long story short, I did really well.
Indeed, but I haven't been idle myself. I managed to obtain some information that should help us find the documents fairly soon. I cannot believe how well preserved these records are. We've got something right here, along with the Puritas Cordis documents that Brother Bernard sent to the Cardinal back in the 17th century. Let me recap what I have found out so far. It seems that Zandona returned from one of his pilgrimages to the Holy Land a changed man. Apparently, he had a vision during this journey. From then on, he was completely obsessed with founding a theocratic state.
Very modest.
Yes, but extremely convincing, as we know. He visited small villages as a preacher of repentance, warning the sinners that the day of judgment was nigh, and uttering dark prophecies.
Which he personally made come true. A reign of terror based on everyone's fear of the apocalypse.
Yes, and remarkably successfully. His following grew almost by the hour, especially in rural areas. people flock to him in droves. The harbingers of the apocalypse are listed here again. First pestilence and disease, then the punishment of the greedy, followed by war, earthquakes, fire, and a great flood.
We all know that. But what comes next?
The harbingers are supposed to make the rulers of the world gather in the new Babel and hold council. That's where Puritas Cordis is planning to destroy them one and all in order to create a new world order. The sect thinks itself the elite of humanity.
The new Babel. What can that... New York! It could mean New York! Puritas Cordis wants to annihilate the UN General Assembly. We have to call my father. He
will go down, along with the rest of the unworthy ones. We represent the will of God. No one can stop us. Least of all you two. Come along.
Quick, run! So, we meet again, Miss Kalenka. You remember me, don't you? The charming barkeeper aboard the Calypso? But enough with the pleasantries. Regrettably, your continued attempts to stop us are about to come to an abrupt end.
No!
There goes another nuisance. Can we get going now, or would you rather follow your pal? No? All right, let's go then. We are taking a little trip to the countryside.
I've been stuck in this cell for hours, waiting for that Pat Shelton character to come back. Wish I knew what he wants with me, and how Nina is involved in all this. There's got to be some kind of connection to what happened in Indonesia. Okay, let me think. They deliberately caused a volcanic eruption, and I'm a witness. Follow that thought through. Can't help but suspect they're probably none too eager to let a witness to their evil doings run around free. Which tells me this is not going to be a picnic. I'd better get out of here. And fast. The question is, how? I have got to find something to help me escape. Ugh, do I have to? Well, I guess so. Oof. The smell might be an effective weapon, but I somehow think I'd be the first to pass out, so I'll just leave it there. The bars are too close together. No way I can squeeze through there. Can't see any weak spots, no matter how closely I look. May not be stainless steel, but it's pretty effective all the same. This looks extremely solid. I think the members of the sect wear these hooded robes to hide their ugly faces. That's actually very considerate of them. A cast iron stove door. If I manage to hit the trash picker and it falls in the right direction. Great, it worked. It's way too sturdy to tip over or destroy with a thin stick. Now, if I had rubber arms and a suit of blue spandex. I can't reach it from here. In any case, I think more than one guard will come if the alarm is triggered, and I can't overpower more than one at a time. I can't reach it. Not even with this picker. How depressing. I just need to pull the door off its hinges and... takes now is opportunity, a firm whack, and fast legs.
Follow me. Pat Shelton wants to see you.
Uh-oh. Tackling two people with my stove door is out of the question. I should wait for a better opportunity.
I am so glad you could make it. There is something I would like to show you.
Nina!
Max!
Yes, Nina Kalenkov and Max Gruber. I would love to leave you to properly celebrate your reunion. We haven't got the time, I'm afraid. The reason for our little gathering is quite simple. There are some things you want to know and some things that I want to know. You claim it is a coincidence that while in two completely different parts of the world, you happen to develop an interest in the very same matter. How can you expect anyone to believe that? That would be highly unlikely, even if you were total strangers. But in your case, and your collaboration with David Correll of the Church Intelligence Service is certainly more than just coincidence. I don't know who you are working for. You must know more than you have told me. A lot more. And yet, I'm sure you do not know everything. So let us make a deal. I will now show you what you want to know. You see, truth is like an eternal flame. You can try to conceal it, try to shade it, but it cannot be extinguished. And the truth has long stopped hiding its ugly face behind the veil of technology and progress. It shows its terrible grimace day by day. 660 children starve to death every hour. Millions of people slave away in horrible, degrading circumstances, while their bosses become richer and fatter all the time. Deserts are expanding, the polar caps are melting, the ozone hole is growing. The climactic catastrophe is at hand! Every day, we do our best to destroy our planet with all the powers at our command. Today alone, another 140 or so animal and plant species have become extinct.
I know, it's terrible. So, can you make this world a better place?
Yes, I can. Zandona was a great prophet. Too great for his time. His vision could not be brought to life in the 17th century. Today, things are different.
Vision? Zandona never had any visions. He was just a very sick man who wanted to destroy the world.
Destroy? How blind you are! He never wanted to destroy the world. He only wished to root out the evil that is responsible for all the destruction in our world. I will show you. This is La Palma, one of the Canary Islands, a paradise for sun-loving tourists. For us, the island holds quite another fascination, Cumbre Vieja volcano. The brittle western slope of the volcano is covered in clefts and fissures where water has collected. Now for the interesting part. By placing several bombs in carefully calculated spots, we can use
Except for the people on the East Coast. I guess you won't be leading them anywhere.
Haven't you been listening to me? I told you this is about saving the world.
By leaving millions of people to drown? How is that saving them?
I am saving them from their own destructiveness. They would kill each other anyway, sooner or later. But in that case, not just a couple of million people would die, but the basis for our existence on this planet would be permanently destroyed. Don't you see? Those who hold the power in this world are leading us to our doom, day by day. But now, we have a chance of seizing this evil by the root and wiping it out, once and for all. Without its rulers, humankind will be as helpless as a flock of sheep without a shepherd. They will turn to God and to Puritas Cordis, for we are the ones who saw the catastrophe coming and who know how to avert any further disasters.
And nobody suspects that Puritas Cordis caused those disasters in the first place.
It does not befit the sheep to question the will of the shepherd. We will teach people to live devoutly. We will teach them the ways of Zandona, and we will welcome them to the new state of God. They will be led by our supporters, chosen from among the wisest of the wise and the most pious of the devout.
And what will your role be in that state?
Mine will be the voice that proclaims the will of God.
In other words, you will rule over all the rest. So this is really about power, as always.
Certainly, the power of the Lord. But that's enough of me, enough of us. I have fulfilled my part of the bargain and told you much that you probably did not know. At least, not in so much detail. Now it's your turn to uphold your end. Who are you working for? What do you know? Who else knows it, and how does the Church Intelligence Service mean to prevent the inevitable? We had an agreement. Talk!
Who are we working for? Church Intelligence Service? I don't know what you're talking about, but all that Zandona nonsense seems to have softened your brain. That's the only explanation I can think of.
I will not be made a fool of. Very well. You asked for it. You see the grave over there? It's fresh. All that's missing is a body. So, for the last time, what do you know? Who have you told? And what has the Church Intelligence Service got to do with it?
Sorry, I don't know anything about any intelligence service. And your people shot the man who might have been able to tell you more about it in cold blood.
If you think this is some kind of game, you are badly mistaken. A totally unnecessary death, brought on by your own foolish stubbornness. I should give you some time to think about the error of your ways. Maybe you will be a bit more cooperative when we talk again. Take her to the cell.
Oh, what have I done? Max is dead. I should have prevented this. No matter how, I should have prevented it. I was the only one who could have averted this disaster. I could have saved my father. I could have saved Max. Yes, I could have. What did I actually do? I am responsible for the death of David Correll, who died trying to help me escape. I sealed the fate of Max with a single wrong answer, and my father will be next. And what am I doing? Sitting here in a cell, waiting for it all to end. I hope it will be over soon.
Everyone should have their own stove door. It's a good thing I carry all kinds of stuff around with me.
they're alive!
Shh, not so loud. Otherwise, that might change pretty quickly.
Max, you have no idea how glad I am to see you.
Who would have thought I'd ever hear you say that? Miss Kalinkov, you amaze me.
Of course. You don't have any witnesses.
Never mind. If seeing me return from the dead makes you this happy, maybe I should do it more often.
Just as crazy as ever, I see.
Would you really want that to change?
No, not really. But how come you're still alive?
I'll explain later. For now, let's concentrate on finding a way out of here.
Agreed. Do you have a plan?
No, not yet. You know me. But we'll think of something.
Okay, but be quick about it. Pat Shelton might come back at any minute. By the way, in case I haven't mentioned it yet, I'm glad you're still alive.
I just love hearing you say that. Looks like this is a guard's patrol route. I can't spring a trap from the outside. I have no intention of sticking my delicate fingers in there while a mousetrap is set. Yes, this should work. That way I can spring the mousetrap and still keep all my fingers. I rather like that idea. I just saved an innocent little mouse from a gruesome fate and got a big piece of cheese as a reward. There's a storeroom behind it. A pile of soccer magazines, aptly titled 11 Friends. Soccer tips aren't going to help me now, but might as well leave them here. I haven't got time to sit and read. piece is unstuck, my fingers still whole. With skill and with luck,